Oh, hello, it's Rich with Richbound Photography for yet another tutorial. Now, I wasn't planning on doing a tutorial today, but as I was editing this lovely house, and as you know, I do the good ones and the not so good ones, and this one definitely had its issues. But after I finally got the owner to clean it up, which was a whole nother story and not a very happy story, I thought I'd just show you what I was dealing with. And I was dealing with um, shadows, I mean, with shine from this stupid black, let me show you a few shots, black cabinetry. It was just the worst. And so I thought I would do a little tutorial because we all run into this. Okay, so let's just start with this one. I just basically want to get rid of this. I also got a little ceiling fan shadow. But this is just, what do you do? You're going to get a shadow no matter what you do. Sure, you can run around and do multiple flashes and mask out or mask in what you want or don't want. But what I did was use this ambient shot as I do. Now, this ambient shot is actually, now, please, again, this is not a great shot. This is not a great location, but it's something that we all are cringing at because we'll all get it and you know you're going to get it. So let's just go ahead with it. So I'm going to want to use this part of the ambient, and I'm going to reset this just so I know where I was at. And I'm going to go back to the lit shot and I'm going to reset it. So these are straight out of camera. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to do my ambient shot for this one because I don't it's not a great shot. There's no reason for me to make it like a beauty shot, and I'm not going to use the shadows. So I'm going to do my full bump, which people know it's my special sauce. It's right here. I'm not going to go into it. Anyway, I'm going to lighten this up. Now, this is actually, I could probably deliver this, but I'm not going to deliver this because no matter how bad the place is, I want to give it something nice. Here is the lit shot. I'm going to do the same thing. Give it the bump. I'm going to give it a little more exposure. So I'm basically making this shot, the lit shot, and the ambient shot as best I can make them in camera, well, in Lightroom. And what I want to do here is I'm not really going to adjust anything else because these two kind of match. There's no there's no incandescent lights going on. There's no real shift in colors. So I can just mask this in. So I'm just going to highlight both of these. I'm going to right click it. I'm going to go edit in, open as layers in Photoshop. By now, everybody should know this. If you're new to this, go back to some of the old videos and you will get more acquainted with the way I do things. And again, I do things the way I do them. It's just what's worked for me. I kind of started with the Scott Hardigas method, although he'd cringe if I showed him this, but he would understand, I'm sure. But it's certainly not going to be any chance of a sexy image. Anyway, I've got my ambient shot on top, my lit shot down below. I've got my ambient shot highlighted, and I'm going to go down here and create a layer mask, add a layer mask with Option held down. And all I'm going to do here is I'm set on white, which is paint, on a brush, and I'm going to mask it at 7% flow on a soft brush, okay? So basically, let's just start with getting the ceiling fan out of here. And you know what? I just kind of nice soft, gonna put a little bit of light up, ambient into there. And it's kind of taking a shine off the wall, which is nice. Now, let's just get rid of this. You ready? This is how hard it is. 1, 2, 3. And you know, I'm getting a little bit back in here, so I'm just gonna hit X and go take that away. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and paint it. I'm just going to mellow this out a little bit with a little bit of ambient. A little bit of ambient here. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. That's an oldie. But here you go. And it's ready to go back. Okay, so that took about 30 seconds to a minute. Anyway, this is a really simple fix. So I'm just going to now show you. This is the shot I just did. And this is the one I did earlier that I delivered to the customer. So it's pretty similar, but both of them are better than this. Okay, so you just want to get rid of that. You want to get rid of that and get rid of that shine. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's just rip through these. So here I got another issue. I'm going to open this up into full screen. Couple issues. I've got all these shines. Ay, ay, ay. Look at the reflection. Hello, that's me. Got a little bit of sourcing this here, but in general, it's okay. This is actually the ambient. This is the lit shot, sorry. And I'm trying to do this really quick because I got to get out of here. It's Labor Day weekend. Memorial Day? No, Labor Day weekend. Anyway, here I go. So if you see between these two, look in here and look in here, I can utilize all this stuff in the ambient shot. What else can I use? Uh, the lit shot's better here. So I'm going to use the lit shot here. I'm going to now add a little bit of ambient here. And, I can actually get rid of some of this. So we're going to use those parts. Basically what I did was identify what I need to use. But we're going to actually go back and I'm going to make this out of the camera, straight out of camera, reset, out of camera. So I'm just going to use the, wrong one. I'm doing the real estate full bump here and I'm bringing up the exposure a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to try and match the lit shot, which again, there's not much light coming from these lights, so I'm not getting a big color cast. So it's pretty sweet. Nice kitchen though, huh? Anyway, I'm highlighting both of these. I already know what parts I want to use. That's the most important thing. You want to identify while you're shooting and when you get home, before you bring it into Photoshop, you want to identify the parts you're going to take from each shot. Now I might take 4 parts. I might have a different shot for this room back here. I've actually got a light back in there, a single speed light here, and that lit the back room. Okay, so basically what I want to do here is once it comes up, come on, let's go. Let's go. Gotta go. Anyway, okay, I'm going to add a layer mask. Here we go. So this is the lit shot I'm going to use. I'm just going to mask in. Okay. Mask in the ambient, which is masking out those hot spots. So you can see. Big difference. Super easy. I'm going to give it a little bit of ambient light in here. Make it a little nicer. I mean, there's no reason not to spend a little bit of time even on a house like this. Okay? I think you should do a good job no matter what you're doing because it's about consistency. And, just because I'm making not a lot of money on this, it doesn't mean I shouldn't do a good job. So there we have it. Now, one other thing I'm going to do is because I could probably get away with it, I'm going to flatten this image by doing Command E. And you see I flattened it here. I'm just going to get rid of me in here. So I'm just going to go here and do the spot healing tool. And I'm just going to go up here. I'm just going to go bam, 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 bam. Click, get rid of that. Okay. It's not perfect, but they can't identify me, as the killer said. So I used that simple tool. Took about maybe a minute to do this shot. So, oops, let me get out of here. Oh, there we go. So, there we go. I'm going to do Command SW to bring it back into Lightroom, and it goes right back where I want it to go. And let's look again. This is going to be the shot we just did. And this is the shot I delivered to the, so I was able to fix it almost identically. Okay? Anyway, so I'm going to deliver that one. I'm going to do one more. And this room was not nice to me. But I want to show you what I'm dealing with. So I'm going to start here. This is an ambient shot. I'm going to bring it back to reset it. And actually it's reset. I think I reset it already. And here is the flash shot. Now, you can see, okay, here it is straight out of camera. You can obviously see the benefits to using flash because, for one, people talk about they can use ambient shots or do HDR. I'm telling you, if you try to do HDR with this light, with this window bloom, oh my gosh, I don't think there's really any way to deal with it totally ambient. It's not, it's just gonna, this is called window bloom, where it just reaches out beyond the window and it gives you that blue and it just is terrible. Anyway, so basically what I want to do is utilize this for 2 spots. Now, I'm sorry, here. I'm going to now give it my little bump, so I want to get it to where I want it to be. Okay, I'm going to raise the exposure. So this is like the shot I'm going to deliver. But the thing is normally I don't deliver something that looks this flashy. But man, we're talking about, this is just right above mobile trailer. So I'm not going to go crazy on it with lighting and whatever. But you know what? I got a good window here. There's no reason to not do that. I got good exposure in here. I think with the ambient, I can fix it. But we've got a little bit of work to do to get rid of the shine. And this is just one flash by me. Now, I could have stayed with the flash by camera, which I did. Or I could have also come up and done one exposure, probably walked in the shot, did a flash right up in here in the ceiling, and it would have brought a shine somewhere else, but it would have not been there, and then I could have masked it. But I thought I could deal with it with just the ambient. But it's the ambient needs a lot of work. So the main thing I need to do, because I've already edited this, is I need to make the ambient this color. So I want to fix it. And a lot of people are asking me, what do I do to my ambient shot? Well, first I'm going to give it my full bump, and I don't always give my ambience my full bump. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a little bit of exposure. Now, right now I'm looking on the left-hand side. Here is this, and I'm looking for the exposure and the color. And this is actually the lit shot, the exposed shot, the flash exposure is a little more yellow. So I'm going to go in, add a little more yellow, okay? And I'm going to brighten it up just a tad. And so I'm going to do here, because this is all hazy, I think it's part to do with my lens, but I'm also going to add a little bit of dehaze. Okay, so now I'm looking right here, because this is where I'm going to use it. Am I close to the color? I'm not bad. So the idea was to make it, I'm going to give it a little more exposure. Make it as close as you can to the flash frame. So I'm going to use it in here. Okay, actually I'm going to take out a little bit of yellow, because there we go, almost right there. Now look at there and there. I can mask that in really nicely. Now this spot right here, let's look over here, and let's go back to the ambient. I'm going to make this one, I'm just going to take my adjustment brush, and I'm just going to make it a little bit yellow, a little bit exposure, and I'm going to locally change this. Now I think I need to make it a little bit more green and a little bit more warm. Okay, now let's go here. So look down in here, because we can't see where this shine is. Let's look down in here, and this is looking, hold on, right here, actually a little bit more yellow. Actually, you know what? Yeah, not much else I can do. I'm going to go a little bit there. Okay, so I've got my ambient shot where I want it. Remember, all I'm going to really use is here and here. So I'm going to highlight my lit shot and my ambient shot, and I'm going to edit in layers and Photoshop. Okay, you'll see how we do this. The main thing is to just, you'll get better with experience, but just try and make your ambient shot, the parts you're going to mask in, make it as close as you can to the lit shot. And, you know, I could have done this probably in a third the time, so I don't want it to seem like I'm spending a zillion hours, but I could never deliver anything with this flash right here. It would have been a lot faster for me to do a second flash, but anyway. Okay, let's do a layer mask. I'm going to be in here, and I'm going to paint it in. I'm on white. I'm on 7% flow. You ready? Here we go. Okay, there we go. Now I got a little bit in here, so I'm just going to hit X, and I'm going to paint this back. Okay, there we go. I'm going to go one more, a little bit on this side right here, just right there. There we go. So you can see the difference. Okay, it's not perfect. Trust me, it's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good, I will say. And, you know, there we go. Okay, now let's mask in this side. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, here we go. And the thing is, you want to mask it bigger than the area so it blends in. Now you see I'm getting a little bit of ambient light on this curtain, and I don't want that because the curtain was fine. So I'm just going to go X and go back to black, which is going to erase it. And then I'm going to bring it back here. Okay? There we go. Oy, not a great shot, I will say again. So I'm going to go X here. I'm just going to paint in a little bit of ambient, not too much because the ambient was pretty bad with this room. Just a little bit here, just to chill out this flash. There we go. Boom. A little bit on the ceiling. I'm going to make it big for my brush for my ceiling shot. There we go. And a little bit here. There we go. Okay. Again, far from perfect, but you know what? I want to get in and out and go on my weekend. So I'm going back in here. I'm going to look how the shot I delivered will be looking. Okay. So here is the shot we just did. Okay. And here is the shot I delivered. Actually, I like the one I delivered. I didn't add in ambient in here, and it's look at the ambient in here is really not good. So I take that back. Don't do ambient in here. So here's the shot I finished with earlier, and again, look at the difference between here. Let's go here. Here is the shot before, and here's the shot after, before and after. Again, far from perfect, but you could try and clone that stuff out anyway. So I hope this worked for you. I hope you learned a few things, and just got a spur of the moment thought about doing this tutorial because this kitchen and wood really made me unhappy. So we've got a finished shot there. We got a finished shot there. And none of these are portfolio and none of these are anything but just passable. But it's a quick way to fix these things. So you guys have a great weekend and I'll talk to you later. Bye.